It's Dre Grimm,
Curtis Media.
and we back. We're about to talk about the price of fame. So, how people deal with fame, different elements of it. So, what's the first part you got, bro?
I got, that's definitely my text messages.
You get famous, you gonna get more of those.
No, of course.
I ain't gonna have no phone.
Do you think that people should somehow, some way become mentally prepared to be famous?
I mean, you can try, but you don't know what it's like until you in it. I feel like you can prepare for it as much as you want. Like, you can prepare like a football player.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to college, you get the fame in college, you can see what that's like, but you can't get ready for it because there's different levels. Like, Michael Jackson growing up in Gary, Indiana could not fathom,
Right.
like, people, like,
Nigga, he literally standing on the stage.
out. Yeah, people pass out.
He didn't even
like,
start singing yet.
Right. You can't even, like, you just have to go with it. I feel like you have to just grow with your fame and know how to be responsible with it.
I low-key feel like being famous back then was a little bit easier though.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
I think social media kind of fucked it up for us. Cause it's like,
Mm-mm.
you think it's about the same or?
I feel like the annoyance, it's more annoying to be famous now.
Right.
Like, I feel like it was easier to just isolate yourself and be like an actual star.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like because of technology, now everybody can like be accessible to you, and if they see you, they can just take a picture and shit.
Well, I think say easier is it's like I think you can be able to recuperate. It's not like with social media, it's like you're non-stop famous. Where back then it's like I can go close my door and just be in my house and ain't gotta be worried about. You might get a paparazzi on some weird shit that might try to take a picture through the window, but other than that.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was easier back then because back then they had to still like it was more like nostalgic to see them. So
Okay. So it's like when I did see you, instead of it might be like 5 or 6 people might come up to me while I'm at a dinner meeting or something like that. Now I got like. Well, back then you probably got like 75, like the whole restaurant looking like.
Right.
Can I get a picture?
Because basically like they say in like LA, that's all famous people are just everywhere. Like, it's really
walking
common.
down the street. Yeah.
Right, it's common. But I feel like with social media, it made it easier for them to do it because you see them so much that when you do see them in real life, it's like, okay. But
I wonder if anybody could like, what's up, my nigga? Like, you feel like you just know the nigga because you follow him so much. And it's just.
I mean, people probably do that. You probably do get love for that.
You just shake up with me, nigga. I don't know you.
I mean, you could. I mean, I just feel like back then it was more like a sacred thing to be like legit famous. Now it's like you can be famous for just saying a catchphrase. And you can make like hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars at a club appearance.
Right.
All because you said something funny that got, trending as a meme.
Which is stupid.
Like, what did you really do? So I think that being famous isn't as, I'm not going to say isn't as important anymore, but because everybody can be on camera now, like, people really don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what it is.
Do you feel bad for the people who succumb to that being famous? Like, they become like drug addicts or kind of, in a sense, go crazy?
I mean, I feel bad to a point because, like I said, money don't change you, just makes you more what you already are.
Right.
So if you was already doing drugs in the past and then now you're famous, you got people in your face, you got, certain appointments and certain things that you gotta get done, you're gonna up that dose. So it's like, I feel sorry for the person who doesn't, like, I don't feel sorry for the person that knows the problem and they don't try to fix it.
Right. So you don't really feel bad to people who didn't decide, hey, I got money now, I got fame now, I'm gonna improve on who I am.
Right, because if you got money, because the thing is, when you low, you know, you do all you know.
Right.
But I mean, when you high, you're supposed to fly.
Right.
And when I say high, I mean like high on life, high on having money, high
Right.
on, you know, having assets and, you know, different things of that nature. So
Better opportunities.
yeah, more opportunities for yourself. So it's like take advantage of what you got now. You shouldn't like revert back. You shouldn't elevate the bad that you do. You should try to focus on new stuff to.
I feel like a lot of I ain't gonna lie, I feel like a lot of people do that. Like
yeah.
they don't see. Not a lot of people do that, but like more hoodish people do that, where it's like, oh, so I live in the hood. There's some people who got like a little bit of fame, a little bit of more money. Instead of taking that advantage of making yourself some more money and or moving out the hood, they stay. Or the mentality of being hood, like, I hate to call, well, this is some, I ain't gonna say no names, but let's just say there's a couple people that you're famous and you still robbing people.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like they haven't appreciated their position.
Right.
Or they haven't realized their position. But that's the point too. Like, you have to know your limitations in being famous. Like, you have to know what you can do. Like, I forgot what artist it was, but that artist was like, yeah, I was just trying to go to the mall real quick. And I went to the mall shut down. It's like, what'd you think was going to happen?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really think that they're in that position.
That's another reason why I said I never wanted to be. I say never. It's not like I'll say somebody ever offered it to me and that with no, repercussions to it to be a billionaire. But in that opportunity, you just feel like your whole life, in a sense, got to change. Like, I can't just go, oh, I feel like going to the mall, let me go kill some time. I can't really do that no more.
I mean, yeah.
Without, like, unless you're going to be one of the people that's like, I got money, but y'all don't know who I am.
I mean, I think it's like, you just got to evolve, man. Like, it comes with everything that you do.
Right.
So, I mean, you won't just go to the mall no more. You might go to a boutique, famous.
Yeah.
You know, you might buy out the store so that nobody can come in, only you can come in and shop.
Right.
On some like.
Or that going there for security. I know a lot of people seem like they got fame. Even just being famous, people got to understand this. You don't really have to have a lot of money for the people to be wilding like that. Like, you can just be famous. So I think you should start putting money back or something like that, because you ain't gonna have to walk around the same as you used to.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, with the social media and stuff, like being famous ain't really, like, you get famous for the wrong stuff or you get famous for doing stuff that's not even worth really applauding.
Right.
So it's like, if you get money and fame, you definitely need to invest and do what you need to do to, like, set yourself up to be better.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, a lot of people got, some people, yeah, like we was talking about beforehand, don't have as much power as they feel like they do, but some people do, and they don't take advantage of it. And then it's kind of like, what you famous for? Like, especially I feel like if you got famous for, even if you got famous for necessarily a bad reason, you can still capitalize. I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with doing, is they just like, I'm gonna soak this in. It's like, no, if you had a plan beforehand, try to use what you got now to execute said plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. It's all about adapting.
Right.
Because like they had the plan when it broke.
Right.
Now they got the plan, they got money, and there's so much more that comes with it that they're like, okay, I gotta stay on point, I gotta stay on topic, I gotta stay on doing what I'm doing. But now I got money, I can do this, and this. Or these people want money, or this person sued me because I got money, so there's more that comes with it. And the thing is, people just gotta stay focused, but we live in an ADD world, so it's kind of hard for people to try to do that.
It's like, oh, I got money now I can buy this chain that I wanted years ago, and it's like, bro, no. Execute the dream, and then in the process of, if you got some extra, then spend that. Well, people was like, they more focused on that extra.
Yeah, because I mean, Drake didn't buy a house until recently?
Right.
This whole time Drake been selling records and Drake been on tour and
Probably
doing this
living in
and
like, not necessarily living in apartments, but living like condos and different stuff. It's like,
I mean, I don't know where he been at, but I'm just saying, like, now he got his big mansion and
Right.
stuff. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he got his money, but he still was making moves and doing stuff to where he finally got enough that he was like, okay, now I'm gonna do this. Like,
okay, that goes straight into the next one then too. You see, he capitalized.
Right.
What makes people like him different? Just like the Chances, the Drakes, and then so on and so forth, that they do like better. Where some people will get famous and just like either can't stay famous or going in that boat of just like, I'm just going to cause all these, not necessarily, cause all these problems like Tekashi, or go. I don't remember what his name is, but they say Ariana Grande's brother is just like, he's just trying to reach for it. Like he'll literally go and be on any show that they tell him to. Like any show that'll let him be on it, he'll try and be on it and different stuff like that. It's like, I wonder, is it like, because me, I've never, like, the only thing I've ever been on, like, I know for sure I was on TV. I was in like a Toyota commercial when I was like a kid. Ain't nobody like, other than that, it's like, I wonder what makes a person like got a fiend it, and then some people is like, I'ma capitalize on it. Like I wonder what the mindset is. It like the way the environment you was in, or
I think like, really what it is like motivation and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Like Drake came in the game with high expectations. I say Drake is LeBron.
Right.
I say Lil Wayne is Kobe.
Right.
Like Jay-Z is Jordan.
Right.
Tupac and Biggie is Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
I think they really got that mentality of like how they teach you in football, where it's like act like you've been there.
Well, Drake was conditioned because he was with Degrassi.
Right.
So because he was with Degrassi, he kind of knew about.
He already had a taste.
He had experience with it. Yeah. Somebody like Chance, I mean, Chance got spiritually right.
Right.
So then that transferred over to other stuff. Like I said, discipline and motivation.
He loves his wife.
He loved his wife forever. You know what I mean? Since he was 8, 9.
Right.
But basically, it's the discipline and motivation. It's like you know what you want, you know what goals you want, and you set them.
Right.
And you gotta be disciplined enough to keep on those goals and to stay focused. And you gotta have the motivation to not look at what you got and just sit. Like,
right.
They're people who aren't. They're the type of people who are not satisfied.
Right.
And I think a lot of people who lose fame or they lose money, they become broke. They got satisfied and they didn't focus on what got them the money in the first place.
Right.
So I think that's the problem with a lot of people.
Right.
So
I think certain ones that aren't famous no more don't know how to go out. Like people get to spending. Like how I was. I used to play football. I used to eat a lot because I was using so much energy. Now after a while, I learned I don't play football no more. So I had to try to train myself to not eat like that no more.
right.
I don't need that no more. So I have to kind of wean myself off from it. So I think people like, oh, I'm used to having being worth $30 million. I could go buy a $1 million car. Or buy these houses or be at these events every other weekend because I can afford it. But now it's like, say in an instance I was an actor and I could do that. Well, if I retired, I can't spend that money like that no more.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, once you retire, you have to understand like you're not that income unless you have like investments and different stuff like that. That money's not coming in like that no more.
Yeah, that's why that nigga trying to get back in the game. But basically, yeah, I feel that. But at the same time, you have to have, like I said, a set plan.
Right.
You have to stay focused on it because it's easy to get lost. It's easy to get caught up. You got the women, people praising you, people love you.
Right.
Look at Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was the most beloved ever. You see him on every commercial, every movie, everything ever. This man got caught cheating on his wife, car accident, sex tape allegedly. All this other stuff happened to him back to back now.
Right.
To where his image ain't necessarily squeaky clean like it used to be. So
And that ain't on here, but now that's a good question. I'm not necessarily saying you should do bad shit on purpose, but I wonder, is it better to have a balance? Like, one day I might, fuck 6 hookers, and then one day I might, you might see me with my child in church. Is it better to have a balance, to be somebody who you just know who does bad stuff, and every blue moon he might do something good? Or is it better to just be squeaky clean? Because it seems like a lot of people who are squeaky clean do one wrong thing and they're just like the worst person in the world.
Well, first, that's a funny dynamic with the hookers in church. Very, very hysterical. 'Cause I know people who do it. But basically, you should just be you.
Right.
If you are squeaky clean, be squeaky clean. Like, if you are, like you said, Chance did acid and smoked weed and smoked cigarettes and talked about beating people up, but he also talked about, like, crazy stuff in his lyrics.
Right.
Now he's more mature, and the thing is, people evolve, man. Like,
Yeah. I think that's a lot of the times that
people evolve and people aren't perfect. Like,
yeah, I think with social media that affects that too, is because like people want you to be, whether it's bad or good, they want you to be the same person you were like 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, you can't hold me to some stuff I did because I'm not the same person no more.
Like with Kevin Hart, there was like him saying he was gonna hit his son over the head with a dollhouse. Charlamagne made a good point. He was like, first off, he has a son, so he has to first off buy that dog.
I mean,
Like, you had to know it was a joke, but at the same time, it's kind of like, he ain't that same person 10 years ago.
I mean, the whole cancel culture, like, trying to, like, cancel people because they don't agree with your perspective is so narcissistic that everybody just need to calm down. You know,
Very.
ain't no such thing as cancel culture.
No.
That's just whatever.
Because, Kevin Hart's still getting work.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, Kevin Hart, the thing is that, I forgot who said it. It was a comedian, though. They was talking about how Kevin Hart, I forgot who it was, but he was like, Kevin Hart, he's squeaky clean and everybody love him now. But when stuff gets crazy, that image go away, he gonna see what's real out here. I forgot who it was, but it was a comedian that said that. And it's funny because what comedian do you know is squeaky clean that's black?
None?
Exactly. Rich Pryor, no. Eddie Murphy, no. Dave Chappelle, no. Chris Tucker, no. Like,
And the issue I be having,
no.
right.
Like, you know what I'm
The
saying?
issue I have with it is, I hate that they try to hold everybody to the same rules. Because let's be 1,000. Comedians, it's almost a comedian's job to say the shit that we feel like we're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
So when you try to take that away from them and try to like everything be clean, let's be 1,000. You even kind of hinder even the white comedians because they even do it. So like, what's the?
I feel like everybody should say what they want to say.
Right.
And if you don't like it, don't listen to it. You ain't gotta cancel it. Just don't listen to
We
it.
literally in a generation where we can choose whether or not we do and don't want to listen to it. You don't like what he's saying on that podcast? Turn it off.
Right. Okay. If you don't like Snapchat, but you like Instagram. Okay. Are you gonna cancel Snapchat because you
Like,
don't
nah.
Nah, we cancel Snapchat.
They
'cause
be
I don't
out here
like it.
screenshotting.
Nah, the videos is annoying. Like
videos is too short. They're like 7 seconds. Like,
right.
what?
If you don't like it, just don't mess with it. That's the thing. That's why people got anxiety and stuff, because they always be focused on stuff or doing stuff that ain't got nothing to do with them. Right.
Like there's certain instances like everybody's saying minding your business can get, you know, is better, or you minding your business allowing certain shit to happen. It's like you gotta learn to understand when to like dip into somebody's business and not to.
Man, I grew up on MYOB till I RIP. Mind your own business until you die. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
Mind your MYOB. Mind your own business. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
So, I think that's another thing with famous people is like, if people come at you or people are trying to cancel you or whatever, understand that they're not a fan, and understand that they're mainly a hater.
Right.
And then understand that that person is broke.
Yeah. And I feel like, they feel like they probably have to worry about and understand and agree or disagree with everything that goes on. No, I can't. I'm the type, like I said, don't complain to me about nothing that you can change. But you can complain to me about things that you can change. If I can go out there and change it, then do something about it. But if you can't, why are you speaking on it? Why are you worried about it?
Right. When I say broke, I'm not talking about currency or money. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just that's a broken human being that ain't got nothing else to do with themselves. Like, you got all the time in the world to try to cancel somebody that got money, but you ain't spending that time to make your own money.
Right.
So
make your own business or improve what your life is.
Yeah. Where's your priorities at? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's where that's it. Like,
and it's usually not even an educated thing. It's like, I understand you come to me and like, I say something racist, but I didn't know.
Right.
Then you can be like, hey, then you know this is boom, 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 boom. This is kind of racial and affects these people. All right, right on.
Yeah, if it's a legit reason to cancel somebody, then yes.
Right.
But if it's just because he said something about a particular group of people,
mm-hmm.
like, I don't even care if certain people make black jokes, as long as it's funny. Like, I come from that era of comedy and that era of just like people where you can really just say the most wild stuff and I'm gonna laugh at it.
Right.
If it's funny. If it's, I can tell if it's malice in it or if it's
a jab.
Yeah, I can tell if it's a jab or if it's like no malice and it's just for jokes. So I don't really care about a lot of stuff out here, but people just care too much about stuff that don't matter. But y'all don't care about the Amazon being on fire. Y'all care about Popeye's chicken sandwiches. So that's no shot at Popeyes. It's just like y'all priorities is wrong. That's why y'all messed up out here mentally. So get your life together and quit messing with people.
And it's funny that like it'd be like the simplest thing that like make people like not pay attention. Like as simple as it's like the rainforest. The rainforest is on fire.
With all our oxygen and most of our water, and y'all worried about a chicken sandwich
that's going to run out and probably never come back.
Right.
It doesn't affect. The only thing that affected was how much fucking chicken, bro.
Yeah, the chicken's
been eating fake shit for our whole life. So
I mean, the chicken got drop kicked. Like, if you was a chicken during that time period, I feel so sorry for you.
Right, like
you was a chicken. Like, I'm just like, we need more. And just killed like a whole onslaught of chickens. It's not okay.
Right. I'll take this because I'm rude. Hello.
This guy.
Alright, we back. Sorry for me being rude and shit, answering the phone, but we back.
Shit gets real in the field. But where we leave off at?
Left off, the next question I had on that topic was, do you feel like fame, in a sense, can become an addiction?
Yeah, because anything that you like a lot of, you know, you can become addictive to it. That's why people are addicts in drugs. They like to feel high.
Mm-hmm.
People are addicted to sex. They like to fuck. People are addicted to, you know, games or whatever the fuck they do. So, I feel like fame can get addicting if you like certain elements of it. But the thing is that you shouldn't be addicted to anything because you gotta know the pros and cons of what you're doing. So really, there shouldn't be no addicts, period. But people don't look too deep into it like that. But that's really what it is, honestly, bro.
No,
That's what I think.
I think it can. I feel like anything that's not done properly can become an addiction because it can be almost overwhelming at a time, and if it's not, in a sense, done properly. Now you can't really research being famous. We can be research being famous. You can just really pretty much look at like who's not famous no more and how they react to not being famous and who's famous and how are they going about it. So if you pretty much go into the field of media in any source, you really could just look it up and be like, okay, how did these people operate? How did they do better? How did they make their life worse? This, that, and the third. So yeah, I feel like it can be an addiction, just like, if you've never done a drug before and you don't get to ask people questions, whether if it's illegal or, legal substance or non-legal substance, you can easily be like, hey, what does this do? Or Google it, what does this do? Or what does this not do? Or is this helpful? How is this hindering my life? Yeah, that's not what I asked you.
I mean, I don't know.
1 second.
Keep talking.
But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. Do you feel that something like this, in an instance, you feel like you should see therapists, and or I guess when you retire, or you think you should see it throughout it? I think a little bit of both, because just like how they do I believe if I'm right, they do it for the army. When they get out of the army, like especially if you've done infantry, they like make you go through like therapy as you gradually get out of it, like to see if you were saying like you got PTSD and different stuff like that. So I mean, I feel like there's a value in it because people go through, just like living in the hood, just like being famous, there can have repercussions of such, dealing with so many personalities at one time and different energies being around you can hinder your growth. And pretty much, like I said, if you don't value your health and all the other stuff, it can definitely take a toll on you.
I mean, things could take a toll on you. It's just you gotta get to a point where you just gotta know yourself. Like, you gotta know yourself, you gotta know what you're around, and you really gotta know your triggers too.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know their triggers, and a lot of people basically, they just go along with whatever's going on.
Right.
So I feel like if you're famous and there's things that you go through and you see different things, like you gotta legit just know yourself. Really, to be famous and to be successful and famous, you have to know yourself. Because people are gonna tell you this, you that. People are gonna try to put labels on you. But if you don't know yourself, or if you're trying to like make people happy,
I think Eminem had a song about that. Like he just started becoming what people said he was.
right. So like when you do stuff like that, then you become lost. But if you just know yourself and know where you come from and don't forget that, then you'll be alright.
Right. Oh, bro. So I guess come to the conclusion, bro. I think shit really low key. If you really can, a big part of, I guess, navigating through being famous, I low key think you can meditate and then stay true to yourself and get therapy every blue moon to make sure Yeah, sounds good to me. But yeah, therapy, stay true to yourself, meditating, making sure that your body good, and you think be your best bet is, the ins and outs of being famous. 'Cause I mean, I think people need to understand that you ain't gonna be famous forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like a handful of people that stay famous forever. And sometimes you stay famous long enough, what did they say? You sometimes, I don't even know what they're fucking saying, but it's in a sense of, you only stay alive long enough, to yourself to turn to the bad guy type shit. I I mean, everybody loved Michael, and now he's, a pedophile.
You either die a hero or live long enough to turn yourself into a villain, or see yourself turn into a villain. Batman. But basically, I mean, bro, honestly, it boils down to it when it comes to fame, man. Fame is given from other people. You gotta get to a point where you don't give a fuck about people's perspectives. And once you do that, you can be famous, but you won't really care about it because basically you're good. So, at the end of the day, people just gotta be cool, and people just gotta
worry about your goals, worry about your dreams, get your money, get out.
Worry about the stuff that's important. Like people's perspectives, they're important to a point, but you shouldn't live and die by them and let them like mess up your, process. So.
Yeah, horrible. Treat it like a bank robbery, my nigga. Get your money and get the fuck out.
That's anything in life, bro. But it is what it is, man.
Hey, quit chasing fame, chasing dreams. That's the way, bro.
Exactly, bro. We out.